Same-sex marriage and possible backfire marriage, also called matrimony or wedlock, is a culturally recognized union between people, called spouses, that establishes rights and obligations between them, as well as between them and their children, and between them and their in-laws. The definition of marriage varies around the world, not only between cultures and between religions, but also throughout the history of any given culture and religion. Over time, it has expanded and also constricted who and what is encompassed. Typically, it is an institution in which interpersonal relationships, usually sexual, are acknowledged or sanctioned. In some cultures, marriage is recommended or considered to be compulsory before pursuing any sexual activity. When defined broadly, marriage is considered a cultural universal. Article 16 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights declares that, and I quote, "Men and women of full age, without any limitation due to race, nationality or religion, have the right to marry and to found a family. They are entitled to equal rights as to marriage, during marriage and at its dissolution. Marriage shall be entered into only with the free and full consent of the intending spouses." Unquote. Same-sex marriage, also known as gay marriage, is the marriage of two people of the same sex or gender, entered into in a civil or religious ceremony. There are records of same-sex marriage dating back to the 1st century, though there is no legal provision in Roman law. It was banned in the Roman Empire in the 4th. In the modern era, same-sex marriage started being legalized at the beginning of the 21st century. Today, it is available in 28 countries. The introduction of same-sex marriage, also called marriage equality, has varied by jurisdiction. It came about through legislative change to marriage law and court rulings based on constitutional guarantees of equality, recognition that it is allowed by existing marriage law or by direct popular vote via referendums and initiatives. The recognition of same-sex marriage is considered to be a human right and a civil right as well as a political, social, and religious issue. A common law marriage is one in which the couple lives together for a period of time and holds themselves out to friends, family and the community as being married, but without ever going through a formal ceremony or getting a marriage license. In states that recognize same-sex marriage, couples receive the same equities as heterosexual couples. There are no distinctions. Since time that same-sex marriages have been legal, so has at the same time common law marriage. Meaning that any couple, be male to male or female to female, they will hold the same equal responsibility as male to female in the definition of common law spouse. Here lies the possible backfire. Sometimes it is better to think things through a bit more prior to kicking and screaming for rights you may already have. Under the laws provided by each state and the federal government, same-sex equality has now been shown to have backfired on many. Cases involving the dissolution of a legal same-sex marriage have shown the same results as heterosexual marriages that have been dissolved. No matter what you bring to the table, in most cases each individual will split what has been brought into the marriage. Now for the huge backfire. Common law marriage of yesterday, which was commonly referred to by heterosexual couples, now applies to same-sex couples. Meaning each individual can be entitled to half or more of what was brought into the common law marriage, and one could be ordered to pay alimony and or child support to the other in the case where children are involved and custodian disputes are heard. Same as legal marriage, in common law marriage a spouse can be liable for the other's actions in the event one or the other is found to have caused harm to another outside of the marriage, including but not limited to financial losses. This basically means if your spouse screws up, you are just as responsible and can face paying restitution and or jail time depending on the offenses found during such time the common law and or same-sex marriage was active. You wanted equality, you got it. Now not only will you bear the responsibilities of your own actions, but you will also bear the responsibilities of your gay spouse's action. This, if not already known, should alarm many of you out there whose spouse is running rampant either the internet or in your own hometown. Write a bad check and you both pay, get convicted of a crime it will cost you both. Some of you may be thinking none of this applies to you since you live in a state that neither recognizes same-sex marriage and or common law marriage. Well, buttercup, think again. In cases where the crime takes place in a jurisdiction that does recognize either same-sex and/or common-law marriage, you will be held accountable under said jurisdiction's laws. This is something for you that are in a relationship with a malicious internet troll may want to take serious note of. As malicious trolls reach out to victimize those they find appealing to their twisted desires, these potential victims reside in all areas of the world, and many of which may reside in an area that does recognize same-sex marriage and/or common-law marriage. But wait, there's more. The Internet is an interstate and international medium. This outline describes the types of activity that likely will permit a court to exercise personal jurisdiction over an Internet actor, consistent with the Due Process Clause of the United States Constitution. So if you nor your victim reside within a jurisdiction that recognizes same-sex and/or common-law marriage, your victim may request a change of venue to include such recognizable jurisdiction. In most cases, a change of venue has been granted in the good diverse state of California. Boom shakalaka. Welcome to equality. Ain't it grand? It can cost you grands for sure.
Are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. I will look for you. I will find you.
Stupid is forever.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.